I'm so tired. I'm sleepy.
Grand Rising, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us this morning. At 9 o'clock a.m., we will close our social media and continue on Zoom only. Join us by getting your Zoom link at elizabethvisionaryconference.org. We'll be there until 10 a.m. You can join us now, and we'll see you in Elizabeth's Zoom room. Today, your hosts are At Peace Makita and Danyelle Claxton. Enjoy.
Grand Rising!
Grand Rising.
Yeah!
Mm.
Baby, listen.
Whew.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good rising, Grand Rising, everyone.
Yeah, does your t-shirt say turn up or
I
turn
turn
people
people on
on?
with great content.
Yes.
And that's just
And turn
what I
up.
do. And that's just what I do.
Yeah.
That part. Yeah.
Oh.
How's everybody feeling this morning? Aura! Hey, girl. Hey.
Hello.
You always do this. You pop in, then you pop out. Then you pop in. I ain't seen you in a month of Sundays. How are you?
All right, and you?
I'm good.
All right, or you're gonna have to bring a face on.
I know how she looks. She's beautiful. That's my girl. She's been following me for a minute, like coming to the circles and always being supportive for years.
Right.
She
Oh,
show
When
up
I
wow.
saw
to
you, I
work.
said, okay, I'm at home.
Yes. Aura shows up. When Aura shows up, it's time to do the work, honey. She did not come to play.
Thank you, Star.
That is awesome. Well, it's so good to see you. So good to see all of you, especially on this challenging Monday morning, honey. It is a Mercury retrograde, and I don't know about you, but I'm feeling all the feels today. So we just gonna hang tight, we're gonna buckle up, and we're gonna ride this thing out today. That's what we're gonna
Yes,
do.
that's what we're gonna do.
I have an amazing show for you guys today. We're gonna continue our series, right? Of reversing the curse. Reverse the curse. So that's where we're at in the process. If you're new here, welcome to Mommy Mogul Mindset M3. I am your host, At Peace Makita. My co-host is not with us yet. She worked the double this yesterday, so I'm sure she is on her way or recuperating or probably on her way to another client. Who knows? But we are here and we are going to have a really great time today. Now, when we do these series, it's all about digging in. And again, if you're new here, Mommy Mogul Mindset is all about being the most divine, masterful mother you can be, mogul in your life and in your business, in your career, as well as having the mindset to do it all, because mindset is the seed of it all. If your head is not in the game, you can ask any major world, renowned athlete about this. If your mind is not in the game, you have no game. So you have to have your mind in the game. So we meditate over here. We talk about positive issues, and we usually do it in a monthly series. So this month we are talking about reverse the curse. What curse, do you ask? Well, that's the loaded bag we're going to get into today. Last week, we talked about just what a curse is, how to recognize it, how to kind of some things you can do to shift it, but mainly like just having an open brainstorming conversation about what a curse is or what it can be. So I want to talk a little bit more about that. I have a video that I want to share with you all from a YouTuber who I follow. She mostly talks about hypergamy and just how to sit on your goddess seat, how to be your most divine feminine self. But she made a video recently about curses, generational curses, and I thought she did a really great job explaining it. So I will be sharing that with you all, and that'll be the premise for our conversation. From that conversation, we'll kick off more of what we need to talk about today, because we're going to talk about not only recognizing what curses are, and what a generational curse specifically is, but also we're going to talk about means in which we recognize it in our own ways in which we recognize it in our own life. You know, the hidden power of a curse is that it's hidden, like you don't see it. So we need to start pointing it out in our own life because it's always showing up. And once you it's just like anything else. Once you shed light on a dark place, then the darkness does what? Right. So the knowledge that we obtained today, exactly. So I saw all y'all responding, but all y'all was on mute. So so that is what we want to do. We want to, you know, shed some light on those darker places in us that haven't gotten any light in probably many, many generations, you know, that need to be recognized, that need to be seen, so that we can heal them and clear them out and make room for the miracles and the blessings and all this great stuff that is sure to come as we get closer into 2023, all the way into 2024. You know, cosmically, there's some wonderful things happening for those that are doing the work, you know, and so it's not doomsday for everyone. So try not to, you know, oh shoot, do I gotta do squats or push up?
Kegels.
Kegels. Oh, okay.
One of those.
Squeeze something, glutes or Kegel. That's good.
You know, last time Mama Het said everybody got to do it. So, you know, it reminds me
everybody got to do it then. Let's go,
everybody
ladies.
had to get lined up because one person did something.
Yeah, that's how we did it in boot camp when I was in the military, honey. One person do something, we all went down. That was miserable, but it taught us teamwork. It definitely kept us closer together. So everybody, let's do these Kegels now. I didn't say it, and I ain't mean it. So
and everybody do it while she talking.
Yeah, do it while I'm talking. I'm gonna try to do it while I'm talking.
I just want to tell Aura, don't get it twisted because you're laying down in the bed.
Ooh, that's the best way to do it, honey.
I can still move them.
Yeah, okay. Lying down to me is easy. Yeah, it's easy to lie down to me. But anyway,
back to the subject.
So we definitely want to I forgot where I was at. See, Mercury retrograde. Boom. Reversing the curse, generational curses. We're gonna watch a video. I definitely have a meditation where we're gonna take a moment to meditate, I should say. And then we're going to get right into today's lesson. Make sure you have a journal. Make sure you have something to write with. There are going to be some things that come up today that you definitely want to remember. I promise you, honey. So roll your sleeves up and let's do the work. The other thing that I was going to say before I got distracted was in order to remove anything that is considered too negative, because we talked about last week how in the spirit of creation, there's chaos and there is negative and positive. You cannot create one without the other. Now, sometimes, just like anything else, gluttony exists and we get too much negativity. Just like too much positivity can be harmful as well. Too much of anything. So too much negativity is what harms us and brings us down. And so being able to go to the root of the problem, which is what curses tend to be. They tend to be the root of all these other issues and all these other things that keep coming up in our lives. It's rooted in some type of cyclical negativity that has just gotten out of control. That's a curse, where it's just a circle. When life moves in a spiral, you're hitting the same points over and over again, but you're not getting anywhere. You can't figure out why. Right? So that is what we consider here at Curse. And so going to the root, just like if you were in a garden, think of your mind as a garden. As we go into our meditation today, think of your mind as a garden. And as you're going into this garden, you see weeds. Weeds are the past experiences that we haven't let go. Weeds are the memories that, you know, we hold on to, even the dear ones. Even the ones that's like, oh, that was such a wonderful and awesome experience. Baby love, holding on to that experience too tight is creating a blockage for you. You have to open it up, even if it felt good. We have to embrace what comes to us and then we have to allow it to pass. And so a lot of us, we just hold on, right? And so today is about getting to the root. because in this garden, with all this beautiful stuff, you got your flowers over here that you're planting, and you might have some vegetables and some fruit. You have these weeds. Who in the group gardens? Does anybody have a green thumb? Star, you took the mic off, baby. It must be you.
I
No
have-
green thumb. None of y'all got a green.
My thumb is
I have,
blue.
but I need to get back to it though.
Okay, yeah, Het, you seem like you might have a green thumb. Well, I definitely want to encourage you all to tap in. That's a wonderful way to tap into your femininity, is to plant, right? And play with the earth and play with the dirt and all of that. So if you really want to tap into Mother Earth and you really want to get into your femininity, then yeah, start doing some gardening. Well, here's your first tip. When you see weeds, the only way to get rid of them is not spray them down with Roundup, okay? Or some people use bleach and water, or they come up with all these concoctions on how to get rid of weeds, when there's really only one way to truly get rid of weeds out of your garden. Does anyone know what that is?
Would it be to pull it from the root?
Ooh, cooking with hot grease now. We cooking with hot grease now, and that's on period. Somebody coming with me, okay? Yes. I just need one person, just one. And I did my duty for the day. Okay? Yes, exactly. You gotta pull it up from the root. And a lot of us, because the root is where? It's buried
Way
down.
deep down.
Baby, that root be way. Have you ever seen a burdock root? That's why we were talking about herbs that day, and y'all was like, you gotta dig it up. Oh, I can't. I dug up a burdock root one time, and that was work. Baby, because that root went down. It went all the way. It went down, down, down. Okay. But that's where the nutrients were, right? And so when it comes to generational curses, when it comes to cyclical patterns in our lives that we just can't seem to get out of, that are harming us or that are hurting us in some way, the only way to truly get rid of it is to go to the root of it. That's it. It's invading your garden. Your mind is your garden. It's supposed to be lush and beautiful and flowers, you know, feeling good. And you got these weeds over here. You cut them down. You're like, oh, let me cut these down with a detox. Let me cut these down with a cleanse. Let me cut these down with a retreat. Let me cut these down with a good old sweat, right? Let me cut these down with some prayer and meditation. Let me do a ritual. Whatever it is that you're into, let me cut it, right? The negative thoughts or whatever. Just cut them like that. Yep, like that, Harriet. Just cut them like that. You know? But cutting them does little to no good. Because we did not do what was necessary to pull it up from the root. And the root, like we just said, is buried way down deep, baby. Way down deep. And so what I've discovered over the years is that most people, adults, grown, big old adults like you and me, exactly, Het. See, the chat be where the tea is at. Y'all should come to the Zoom room because the chat is where the tea be at. But anyway, okay. So yes, absolutely. Because the root is all the way down deep, it's dark down there. It's dark and it's dank. And I don't mean the good kind neither. Okay? It's dark and it's dank. Like what I've discovered over the past few years is that most adults are what? Afraid still of the dark. They're still afraid of the dark. How many of you, by show of hands, just raise your hand if it's true for you, can sit in a dark, quiet space, particularly one that may not be that familiar, but a dark, quiet space for more than, say, 15 minutes before you get a little antsy or you get a little, or you feel like you, all right, okay, then that's on period. Hey, boo.
I love the dark.
Me
I
too.
love the dark.
I do
Love it.
too. I do too. And it took a while. Like Mama Evelyn, did you just always love the dark, or did you have to, you know, ease into it? Or what's your experience with the dark and the dank?
Well, if it seemed like when I was younger, the radio had to always be playing all night, the TV, and then as I got older, the electronics started leaving my room. It's like, no, that don't need to be in here, especially when we got robbed and they just took everything.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
That'll do it.
That'll
do
it. That'll do it.
So, yeah, so I realized, I guess when I realized it was when RJ was born, because I said, okay, this child needs, and I don't know if it was instinctive or whether I saw it someplace, or I think I remember that a friend of mine, I remember the only white friend I still have from high school. She was putting her kids to bed at 7 in the summertime. And I was like, she said they need their rest. And I think she darkened the room, I believe. And so that stuck with me. And so when RJ was born and he would take a nap in my bed, the room was completely dark, and I told him this weekend, I said, we going back to that. I said, right now we can't darken his room enough because I need the windows open. I need some air breathing. So, but I said, we're going to get some masks, that darken. Yeah, we're going to get some eye masks. And he said, oh, okay. So I said, we need to take, and Sheena has found out the benefit because she sleeps with her phone and with the earbuds in. But this past week she had clog of earwax that was really, she couldn't even go to work. It was like pressure, and all that stuff came out. She went to the urgent care and all that stuff came out. She ain't doing that no more.
Those eye masks are great. Like, I use eye masks too. It's really, really important that you can darken the room or darken it as much as possible, because the darkness actually closes your third eye. It closes your pineal gland. It gives your pineal, actually it opens up more, but it gives your pineal gland the rest and the rejuvenation that it needs, so that it can be primed up and ready to go when you wake up in the morning and you open up these two lids. Your third eye will be popping. Okay.
That's what I want to happen.
Yeah. So that's good that you're getting the eye mask, you're darkening the room. If you can get in some type of darkness, that's what I told you guys last week about the closet. It will open up your third eye. Now we're talking about physiology. We're talking about, just the body and how it works. So it's nothing hoodoo, some scary or nothing. This is how your pineal gland works. So if you can get into some darkness as much as possible, do your breathing, your meditation, your sleeping there, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed at what you can create. So we're going to get off into more of that after our meditation.
Naomi's hand has been up.
Yeah, Naomi, go for it.
Great rising, great day, everybody.
Hey, girl, you still got the beat on, period. You slept cute.
Did the most. I'll have a shoot this morning. So, on the darkness, I always have been comfortable with it and used to sleep in the closet as a little girl. And what I know to be true with my yoga classes, I started years ago making, and Miss Evelyn and I talked about this, eye pillows with that were scented with wheat groats or rice or flaxseed. Again, what that did, close off. I mean, and one thing sometimes even to put on the mask, because your eyes tend to flicker and move. But when you put the mask, an eye pillow on, because it's weighted, there's no way those eye muscles are going to start flickering and moving and causing you still to be out of alignment. So like putting a little weight on it too helps. And it totally, I thought Miss Evelyn was pulling one out, and it will totally yourself off into the darkness. And what really helped me understand the value of it is I have a friend who lost her sight in her 30s. And I go over her house, and she's now 70-ish. And she said, "Oh, does it bother you we're in the darkness?" And I was like, "Girl, no, this is cool. I'm comfortable with this. There's no problem." Because, you go in her house, she didn't need the lights on. So I got used to just walking around with her in her house, room to room, and being in the comfort of it. So yeah, that it's invaluable to be comfortable with that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have plenty of buckwheat.
Oh,
Oh, good.
I need
I
some.
love the weight of buckwheat. I
Can I
love it.
get I'll take a pillow.
All right,
Thank
you
you.
got
That
it.
put me on the list. Thank
You
you.
got it. You got it. You too, Mama Head. I got everybody. I got it.
Okay, good.
That's what's up. So yeah, so we're gonna get more into that. I'm grateful that people are starting to, wake up at least to meditation, because meditation is a start, of going into the dark, going into your shadow, really dealing with that side of yourself. But we still have a long way to go as a society. People are still very much afraid of the dark. They're very much afraid of black. Dark still has the connotation of evil, bad, and all of these other things, even though creation itself comes from darkness. So it would make sense of us, all of us, soul beings on the planet, to get comfortable with the idea, because it's where we come from. It's where all of our creative power is resting in triple stage darkness, resting in that layer of darkness. So we're going to get more off into it. But we're going to do our meditation first. So go ahead and get comfortable. Again, if you have a journal with you, make sure you have a pencil or a pen with you, something to write down and record these downloads as this information is flowing through you. Your answers to certain questions you may have are going to be flowing through you. You want to grab it, right? The essence of spirit is that it keeps moving. So if you get ideas, they're going to keep moving if you don't snatch them back and say, no, stay with me. You're not getting away, and write it down. Okay. So whatever comes to you through these meditations, just go ahead and write it down. All right. So let me get my music together. Which way do I want to do this? Let's see. See if my internet, if it's moving fast enough today, I'll use my laptop. If not, then. All right. How was the movie?
Oh, it was wonderful.
No spoilers. Just
It was just
how it make
wonderful.
you feel. She said it was just wonderful.
It was just wonderful. I didn't know the storyline was going to be like it did. So it was
Yeah.
wonderful.
That's why I haven't watched any real previews or anything for either of them. Like, of course, Black Panther only has that one, but I didn't watch it because I want to be like, in the moment. Oh, I want to be surprised. I want to be riveted.
Was it crowded?
Girl,
It wasn't crowded.
No.
Where I went, but I think Pam said that it made it to the top. Didn't you say that, Pam?
Yeah, it was #1
at the box office.
at the box office by a landslide, really.
By a landslide, okay.
So
Yeah.
one thing about our movies, we have to make sure when we get the tickets that they say the right movie. That was some tricking that they were doing at the box office. They'll sell you the ticket for the show, but it'll go for another movie. So we have to be mindful that it says the movie that we're, going to. For black movies, that's something we got to watch out for. And I know a lot of people are doing private screenings where they're renting the theater so a group can go.
That's what we want to do for Wakanda. We wanted to see if
Yeah,
we could get together and do something as a group.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've looked into that, so whenever we have a meeting, we can talk about that.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm pulling up the music to accompany us. And in the meantime, go ahead and start settling into your body. So take a deep cleansing signaling breath where you're signaling to your mind that you're about to step into meditation. So you inhale deeply through the nose and exhale out the mouth. And just feel your energy starting to ground and feel your energy starting to move towards the earth. Because there's this constant fluctuation of us drawing energy up from the core of the earth, drawing it up through the soles of our feet or through our aura, drawing it all the way up through our entire chakra system, our aortic system, our blood flow, our whole mechanism as a human organism, and then allowing that energy to pass, to continue to expand on and outward and upward. So as you're inhaling and as you're exhaling, this is the rhythm that I want you to create within yourself. Okay, it's called a microcosmic orb. So as you're inhaling through the nose, you are feeling that draw of energy come up through the soles of your feet or through the bottom of you, or wherever your body is making connection to earth. You're going to feel that through your inhale. Draw that energy all the way up to your crown chakra. Allow it to release as you begin to slowly exhale through your mouth. Just slowly exhale and feel the energy and light of the sky, of the sun, right? Of what is above us to begin to slowly draw down into you through your crown, all the way down through the soles of your feet and back into the earth, or back into wherever your body is making a connection with Mama Earth, whether it's through a chair or a bed or the floor or the ground. Where are you making that connection? So this is a great way to prep yourself for meditation, to get yourself in alignment and in flow with meditation, so you'll have a really deep meditation. All right, so inhaling and exhaling and just allowing. The next space you want to go into as you're making this connection, you want to tap into your listening. What do you hear? And just ask yourself, what do I hear right now? What am I listening to right now? Remember, the universe moves in questions. So ask yourself that and then listen. And as you're listening to the sounds around you, you want to kind of like mentally pick up about 3 or 4 sounds that you hear. It might be the sound of my voice or something happening outside or the fan blowing in the room, but you want to just make mental note of these 3 or 4 sounds that are happening around you. And let's just find a rhythm to those, because life is always happening around us, even if we don't want it to. So if we can just tap into that rhythm wherever we are in the present moment, that's how you bring your power up and out of you. That's how you draw your power back to you. Stay present. That's where God is, in the present moment. Inhaling through your nose gently, exhaling out your mouth. And just feel that cycle of cosmic energy circling and whirling around you. It's always there. And if you haven't already, go ahead and close your eyes gently or find a focal point in front of you where you can actually just rest your gaze a little. So we're not going to shut our eyes. We're going to gently close our eyes. We're going to gently bring the lids of our eyes together. It should be touching, but not touching at the same time. Gently bring your lids together. Inhaling and gently exhaling. And now bring your awareness to your thoughts. What are you thinking about? Ask yourself that question. What am I thinking about? And then watch as the answer appears right before you. Thoughts will begin to just pop up, bubble up, and just watch them. What am I thinking about? What am I thinking about? And just observe them, like as if you were watching clouds pass in the sky. You're not going to attach any emotion to them. We're just gonna allow. And if you begin to feel emotion rising, if you begin to feel yourself getting distracted, just gently bring your thought back to the present moment with your breathing, inhaling through your nose and gently exhaling out your mouth. Inhaling and exhaling. And just gently bringing your awareness back to the present moment. And as your thoughts pass by like clouds in the sky, I want you to take mental note of any thoughts that trigger emotion in you. Take mental note of it right now. What is that feeling connected to that thought? And can you recognize the connection as an observer? Inhaling and gently exhaling. Holding on to nothing. And I'm going to mind the time. I want you to take a journey with yourself for a moment. Just listen and observe yourself just for a moment. I will mind the time so you can just explore, create, and play. It is a safe space where you are. You are safe. So sink into this moment, rest in this space. Allow yourself, give yourself permission to just be like a tree. Just be. Allow the thoughts to pass like clouds in the sky. Allow whatever comes to come to you, and then to gently pass through you. Enjoy your journey. As you begin to slowly descend back into 3D, gently and slowly take your time. Begin to gently come back and bring with you whatever thoughts or messages that would like to return. Take your time, there's no rush. Feel what it feels like to move in your own time and at your own pace. Inhaling and gently exhaling. And when you feel ready, you're going to slowly and gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll your shoulders back and forth. Slowly roll your neck and open your eyes and feel what it feels like to re-enter your body, to come back into your body, into 3D. And when you're ready, you're going to pull out your journal and your pen, and you're just going to write for a moment. Whatever messages came to you, whatever thoughts, whatever feelings, answers to prayers, ideas for a new business or a new venture, I'm going to write those down. All right. All right, all right, all right. Would anyone like to share before we move on to our next segment? Would anyone like to share their journey? Any messages, downloads, whatever you'd like? Now would be the time to do it.
Yes, I'll share. Uh-huh.
Go.
Yeah. Yes. So I got beautiful images of myself when I was younger and in my innocence and just sweetness. And it showed, the guide showed me, spirit showed me how that's always been part of my power, the power of love. And I just saw myself through different phases of my life. I saw me holding one son on my hip and holding the other one's hand, and how that love was my power and how I just expressed it in my own way. And the message I got was, and I wrote it, what's on the outside is the inside. You've got it. The power of now is your power. Your secret sauce is love. Don't stop. And they kept at the end saying, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, like over and over and over. And the last part of the message was express yourself.
I love it. Now, really, especially after the stuff we've been talking about, like, girl, it's on and popping.
It's on and popping.
Yes. And
Everything.
don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Like, what I heard when you said that, what I heard is your power to love is not a weakness. Like, you're so close, like you're closer than you think. Like, you know how sometimes we'll be running a race and be like, I'm so tired, but the line be right there, but because we're so tired we just can't see it. That's what I saw too, like them pushing you, like don't stop. You're right there. Come on, keep going. Come on. Like people cheering at the end of the finish line. Yes, girl. Yes.
Mm.
Anybody else? Going once.
Well, I just want to say this about Nawili's share and what you were saying, piece about, you know, that they're pushing you. What I was seeing was your son standing at, you know, when you look at a movie and someone has been kidnapped and you got to save them, and you got to do whatever they say to do in order to get to your son, your daughter. And that love is saying, don't stop. He's dependent on your love to get him out of this thing. So don't stop, because it's right there. He's right there. And sometimes any of us, you know how you stand in and you want to jump into that pool, and then somebody just go on, girl, and just you in the pool now. And he needs that one prayer, that one not stopping. And we don't know who that is in our lives. We don't know who it is. So
It's me.
yeah, just stay in there. What you say, Aura? Is that you talking?
That's Het.
I don't know.
Oh, that was Mama Het. Yeah, yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Nawili, for kicking it off.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep, I was saying me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was you saying me.
Sorry.
The effect
Juanita.
Grand Rising, my sisters.
Hey,
Thank you all for being here. The effect you're having, I mean, your purpose is being fulfilled with every person you touch, because it's just you to touch us with the love that you have in you. And I thank you for not stopping. Hallelujah.
Don't stop.
Thank you. Don't
Yes.
stop.
Yes, that love is it's so evident on you, Nawili.
Yeah.
The moment I met you, like I'm like, okay, she's ancient love. That's what I saw, ancient
Right,
love.
ancient love.
Mhm.
Ancient love. Now, really, was your
lover?
we talked about your hair color. Was your hair, what was your original as a child, as you're young? When did your hair turn? You say it's white?
Yeah, it started like progressing when like right kind of late 20s, like early 30s.
Got some crown early,
It
sis.
started doing that. Yeah. And yeah, and I didn't, embrace color or anything at first. I just thought, I'm an artist. I'm rocking half black, half whatever color, I was like, yeah. People were like, how'd you get that color? I was like, natural, so I didn't, yeah. So yeah, since my late 20s, early 30s, it started.
I think about that because of whoever said the word, and it's going to stay with me about you, ancient love. Yeah, like ancient love.
Yes.
Right, peace.
Yes.
Ancient love.
Ancient love.
Don't stop.
Don't stop. We need it.
Ancient love.
We need it. We need it. We need it. And express it more in your art. Like, don't be bold about it. Put it in our face. Like, it's the stuff you got going on in there now, Wheelie. Put it in our face.
In your face.
For sure.
Trust that we can handle it, sis. You know what I'm saying? They can't handle it. They just can't handle it. They ain't ready. I'm ready.
Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, girl. Say it with your chest,
sis. I love it. I love it. Thank you all so much. All right, so before we move on to the next segment, anyone else like to share their meditation, what they got out of it, what messages they learned? There go Danyelle. Hello, blooming Lotus.
Good morning.
Were you able to do the meditation with us this morning?
Oh yes, I was.
Okay, what did you get out of it?
I got some confirmation. Just confirmation on things, clarity on, the next steps. I got an idea for coffee and meditation because I'm sitting here drinking my coffee. Actually, I was sipping my coffee while I was doing meditation. And it's not just regular coffee, it's CBD coffee. So I'm getting a little off of it. And I was like, there's just, I have to bring more of myself to the activities that I'm doing. And I've been holding back. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to hold back anymore. I'm going to be full release because I realize I'm not like everybody else. I do not work a regular 9 to 5 like everybody else. I do not do things like everybody else. And it's like, you know what? And that's okay. And I need to show people that it's okay not to have to conform and follow the norm. And for you just to be you. It's like I was born to stand out. And that's where it came to me, like, you weren't meant to fit in. That's why it's like, oh, okay. It took me 40 some odd years to figure that one out, but okay, gotcha.
I'm sure you saw the post on my page, on my Facebook page. I ain't for everybody. Like,
right.
So come on my Facebook page. Don't come with the foolishness. I ain't for everybody.
So I got some ideas, some things that I need to do, some things. And the biggest thing, reminder for me is, my power is speaking things into existence, period. I spoke some things into existence yesterday and they showed up today. And it's like, oh, okay. So I need to stop being afraid of my own power.
And I think surprised. Yeah. If you don't know if you don't know how powerful you are by now, I don't know what need to happen.
So what's interesting is one of my cousins was actually in the Detroit news talking about being an adult caregiver for her mother. And in my family group on Facebook, everybody was like, oh, I'm sending prayers. And I'm not knocking prayers. Don't get me wrong. Prayers are important.
But get up there and help your family.
I stood up and said, your prayer, I'm not saying your prayers are warranted, but what the woman needs is some time. She needs some rest and relaxation. Can y'all come and watch mama for an hour or 2 or give her some rest?
That's what she needs.
That's the problem as a caregiver, because my mom, I take it to heart because my mom passed at 54 being a caregiver to my grandmother. So I understand what it's like when people pour from empty cups. I've seen it full circle. So I'm like, I got really passionate. Like, she needs a vacation. She needs some respite, some rest, some relaxation. Can y'all come over and spend like an hour? I mean, prayer is great. Don't get me wrong. But after you see 20 people say, I'm praying for you, I'm like, now, mama head, it's now time to do the work.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I stood up. I was like, yeah, can we give her some time? Can we go spend time with her? Just sit with mama, let her get a nap, go to the doctor,
sit out on the porch.
Right. Because one of the things that one of my uncles keep telling me, 16 years after my mom passed, oh, I wish I brought your mom down here for a week. Okay, wishing ain't helping. You should have did that 20 years ago. Like that would have been so helpful for her to get some rest and reprieve while taking care of your mother, while taking care of me and my brother, by doing all this other stuff. So I'm starting to speak up my voice. Like, hey, yeah, we need some rest. So you can keep praying. Some people, we're going to pray that this situation gets better. Seeing it full force, it doesn't get better. What it gets better is having extra help, having somewhere to go, having some time to just, so I'm on this rest and relaxation kick because it's important. Even if you're not an adult caregiver, even if you're taking care of kids, if you got grown kids or little kids, you still need time to yourself to get some rest and relaxation. Like, it is so important. So now I'm seeing that I have to start speaking up about this because I'm like, yeah, it's hype. You can't pour from an empty cup. And people, I read the article, there's not a whole lot of resources when you're doing caregiving by yourself, unless you're paying out of pocket. And it's like, it's a noble role to take on, but you have to still make sure that your cup runneth over, that your cup gets full, because it drains and it takes out a lot. So I think I got a platform to start speaking out and talking on. And it's like, we can help each other. It's more than enough for us to help each other, especially on my dad's side of the family. It's like, it's more than enough for people to just come over, sit down, bring a dish, maybe bring dinner, bring a dish, sit down, watch TV with mom, let the caregiver get a break,
Ashe.
So
Ashe.
that's what I got of it.
Ashe. Thank you. All right. So we're gonna move on to the next segment. I didn't check hands. Anybody have their hand up? No? Okay, good. All right, thank
Yeah,
you for
Mama
sharing.
Het.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mama Het. Go for it.
You got her brown hand up.
So, when I was doing movement, I would go over to my girlfriend's house. Her mother is living with her now, and I would go over there and do a workout with her for about a half hour. And so that gave my girlfriend time to just, if she needed to sit and stare out of a window for a half hour. But it really was good for mom because when they're older they tell the same stories over and over again, and I don't mind hearing. I was like, I almost need to start recording her, and writing what she's telling me, because we could put this in a book or whatever. But to go over and to give my girlfriend that break really made a difference. I need to get back to it. The pandemic hit and everybody got, oh no, we can't be around anybody. But we were still connected during that time. So, I can get back to that. But it really does. My mother had a lot of friends coming from church and helping her out. These people that say they down with the cause, let's see the action, Our work is what, So.
Ashe. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Maybe that's something that the Elizabeths can look at taking on as a group thing.
Oh, movement. And also something just came to me because I just saw Mama Evelyn come across the screen. Art therapy for seniors. One of the things advantages my mother had was that my grandmother was in a program with Henry Ford. They had adult daycare. I know it is what it is. But because my grandma had dementia, they would do arts and crafts. And this is coming back to me. Grandma would come home with macaroni, macrame, and stuff that kindergartners would do, but that art therapy kept their brains active. It kept that artistic side active, and drawings and all this other stuff. So I don't know, maybe Mama Evelyn, maybe that's something that, I don't know, somehow, some way, we can create something where seniors have like an art day where they can create and play. Well, more so create, more so than anything else. Because sometimes dementia, people just sit there and people act like they don't want to talk or they don't know where they're at. Talk to them, because wherever time zone they're in, you can get a lot of good information wherever they're at. Because dealing with my grandmother, I was either dealing with the 8-year-old, the 18-year-old, or the 80-year-old. That 18-year-old was feisty. I learned a lot about my grandma. I was like, oh, okay. All righty, grandma go past the football field. She started talking about the young men on the football team. You're looking like, what? Huh? Oh, I forget. My grandma was a young woman. You know what I'm saying? She did have her fun. Okay.
Okay. Information, right?
What you say?
Sometimes too much information from grandma.
Look, you realize where you get it from. You like
when Sherry called, when you was talking to Sherry on the phone, Aduni, and she was telling you all the wild escapades.
Yes, Lord. Yeah.
All right. So in the spirit of moving forward, thank you ladies for sharing. And I think we should definitely visit that idea of the art and the movement for the seniors. So thank you. All right, so we're gonna move to the next segment because I want to make sure we get all of this great information before it's too late. So I don't know, we didn't say bye to our people on the live. Love you people on live. It's 9:06. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Please join us in the Zoom room. Go to elizabethvisionaryconference.org and click the link for today, and you can come right into the meeting. We're going to continue on until 10 a.m. So we look forward to seeing you. So wave to the peoples on live. All right. Okay, ladies. Now we're going to move on to the next segment of today, which is keeping with the theme for this month of Reverse the Curse. Okay. So I'm going to play this video for you. Like I said, it's by Chloe. She is very much about divine femininity on her channel. That's all she promotes. That's all she talks about. And so in this video, she's going to be talking about generational curses and ways in which to recognize and to break them. I thought she did a really great job. It's a short video, not too long. and we can get right into the conversation afterwards. So, Aduni, Queen Aduni, do you mind sharing your screen?
I think you have it, or you didn't give it back to me. Did you give it back to me?
Oh, I didn't know you gave it to me. Hold on.
Yep, I heard you in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
I set you up, sister. I
Set
set
me
you up.
Thank you. Okay. Is it sharing? Can y'all see it?
Uh-huh.
All right. Okie dokie. Let's get into this tea, y'all. Here we go.
Your sound, you need to unmute your sound
Oh, thanks.
on the video. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. So today's feminine school video is all about the long overdue topic of curses and how to break them. Now, for those of you who don't know, a generational curse is simply a toxic holding pattern or a recycled pattern or a repetitive pattern of generational toxic dysfunction and trauma and negativity and abuse and neglect and even narcissism that is often passed down from generation to generation, both consciously and unconsciously. And the generational curse is a phrase that has gained a lot of traction and recent popularity, and most recently, I even touched upon some of the persistent consequences of the generational curse with R&B singer Summer Walker. So a mainstream discussion is long overdue because we are now in the information age where enlightenment, growth, healing, and exposure is happening all around us. And rightfully, we are now living in a time where the inherited, ugly, toxic, and bitter patterns of dysfunction and disruption and with us and our generation by simply educating ourselves and by consciously making empowering choices that will give us a better quality of life moving forward, especially as it pertains to being attracted to dusty, low-value men. Now, the reason why generational curses are so necessary to break is because so many women are dealing with deeply ingrained family patterns of lack, and low self-worth, and having a poverty mindset. And those toxic foundations are often the self-sabotaging blind spots and energies that often cripple, destabilize, and get in the way of our femininity and our ability to attract and sustain relationships with high value men. Men who are capable of being amazing fathers, stepfathers, and amazing protectors and creators of legacy. And unfortunately, women who have low self-esteem are women who usually have inherited the repetitive holding pattern of low self-esteem from their mothers, and their mothers inherited their low self-esteem from their mothers, and that is unfortunately the damaging cycle of the generational curse. And the number one role as a mother is to inject her daughter with self-esteem by leading by example. But in most cases, the generational curse will often get in the way of a mother or a father being an effective example for both their sons and their daughters. So why is it so difficult to break generational curses? And the answer is a profound lack of insight. And if a person lacks insight and the ability to self-correct or self-examine or look within, they will often perpetuate what is familiar to them because that is all that they know. And this lack of insight is the number one reason why so many parents and why so many mothers are not able to educate or to model to their daughters the importance of the feminine principle and educating their daughters stay and attract relationships with men who aren't dysfunctional. Now, here are the common reasons what or model to us an ounce or an iota of femininity, and I'll start with the captain obvious. And that is more than likely as a young girl and or a woman, your mother was never taught the value of the feminine principle herself. Remember, ladies, our mothers are women first and mothers second. And sadly, many generations of women have been raised to either wholesale neglect their femininity or to not even be aware of it. Another reason why generational curses are perpetuated is because our mothers were never married, provided for, or had the opportunity to become a stay-at-home wife. Another reason why generational curses are perpetuated, which is a huge elephant in the room, is the shame and the stigma of mental illness. as some families are plagued with schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, or overt or covert narcissism. And only recently have people become more open and more publicly engaged about discussing their hidden family secrets and the damaging effects of these illnesses on families and their family dynamics. And there is so much more to be discovered about families who struggle with mental health. And another reason why generational curses are perpetuated is that our mothers were not raised in an era where women had the historical luxury of stepping into their femininity. This is particularly true for Black women who historically have had to fend for and protect themselves due to the historically damaging effects of structural racism, chattel slavery, colonization, brainwashing, miseducation, and the overall systemic engineering of Black women to see themselves as more masculine women than feminine women. Another reason for generational curses is that sometimes a mother can view her daughter as competition. Some mothers are extremely envious of their daughters' opportunities, their marriages, and their youth. And unfortunately, there are many mothers who are more than willing to sabotage their own daughter's potential to have company for their misery. And sometimes some mothers are completely selfish and self focused, and as a result, are very neglectful mothers. And these mothers are usually very narcissistic. And some mothers and families are full of addicts. And mothers who struggle with addiction usually end up completely dropping the ball on both their womanhood and their motherhood to feed the endless needs of their addiction. And some mothers will always pass down to their daughters the generational curse of having a poverty mindset. And unfortunately, some families will perpetuate and project their limited mindsets onto their children because of the poverty and lack mindset that often will come from the generations of having an institutionalized mindset. And there are a lot of people who will struggle with the concepts of manifestation and using the power of intention to create a better life for themselves, especially prior generations who were not privy to the sciences of manifestation and alchemy. So, ladies, how does a feminine woman begin to end the generational curse for good? With self awareness and self education on femininity, self worth, and by making a personal vow or a personal promise to end the destructive holding patterns that you've inherited from your family. So, here are 10 feminine lessons on how to break the generational curse by improving your worth and your self esteem. Number one, clean out your emotional garbage and your emotional baggage. Ladies, a lot of women want success on how to date, marry, and on how to carry themselves as feminine women. But if you were abused or neglected or violated in your childhood, you will need to clean it up with a mental health professional. Otherwise, your feminine journey will feel aimless, directionless, and hollow. Number two, exercise. Exercise makes us feel good, and feeling good is a huge part of having healthy self esteem. And exercise is a great empowering tool for women who have been historically taught to neglect themselves and to put themselves dead last. Number three, love yourself by putting your needs and self care first. Ladies, your esteem and worth can increase exponentially when we make the radical decision to put our needs above everyone else's. Women are often groomed to put the needs of others first, and then they wonder why they are exhausted and depleted and are running on fumes. Ladies, it is not selfish to put yourself first. And the people who are against you putting yourself first are usually the ones who benefited the most from using you. Number four, subscribe to this channel and educate yourself about the game changer of femininity. A huge part of breaking generational curses is about increasing your self-esteem and your confidence by enhancing your awareness of the feminine principle and how to use it to your benefit. As feminine women are usually women who see themselves as sacred, cherished, and worthy. Number five, read self-help books from healing authors like Iyanla Vanzant or Brene Brown, and there are countless others, because a lot of women are academically brilliant, but they are way off track when it comes to their feminine confidence, being intuitively connected, and knowing how to balance themselves as feminine women. which is why so many women are dripping in the crippling energy of living in their masculine. Number 6, recognize that your parents probably had low self-esteem and worth as well, because a woman cannot have high self-esteem if her parents' self-esteem was low. This is why therapy and self-healing are key in improving your own esteem and ending generational curses. Number 7, another wonderful way to end generational curses is to focus on making your dreams come true. And every woman has a different dream for herself, and exploring that dream for yourself will increase your self-esteem and break generational curses. Number 8, take risk often. People who play it safe are people who don't grow. And growing is a huge part of increasing your self-esteem and your confidence. So ladies, a person could be a wise 25-year-old when they are a risk taker, and a 50-year-old can be an immature clown if they've never taken a risk or tried anything new. So ladies, get off of the sideline of your life and make your life happen by believing in your possibilities. Number 9, let negative people go. This is easier said than done, but negative people will use every opportunity that they can to influence and to destroy your potential due to their own self-hatred. Yep. And these are the people who unfortunately are heavily invested into making sure that generational curses will persist, perpetuate, carry on, and survive. And finally, number 10, stop seeking approval. Ending generational curses means no longer asking for permission to live your best life. Ooh. So if you are waiting for a pat on the back, or if you are waiting for someone to say, I'm sorry, baby, or to be validated by a person who doesn't even love themselves, ooh, or if you are waiting for a person who is carrying around nothing but a bunch of broken dreams to inject you with some confidence, please do yourself a favor and break the family pattern of the generational curse so that you aren't living your worst life. So that is all that I have to say on this for now. Generational curses can be broken with simply a desire to want better and to want more and to want to heal from the inherited family pattern that will often cause a woman to live a life of misery and regret. And as always, I look forward to reading your amazing comments about generational curses below, and stay tuned for more feminine school videos to come, and I will catch up with you ladies and you lurkers and my subscribers in the next one.
Woo! Okay, ladies. Period. Let's get it cracking. I love Chloe because Chloe goes in. She rolls them sleeves up and she goes in. Okay.
Have mercy.
Love it. I'm going to put the link to this video in the chat, but let's get the conversation going, ladies. Talk to me. Tell me one thing that stood out on that list of 10. Not on the whole video. I want us to be conscious of time and respect everyone's opportunity to speak. So we're not going to go off to the left. We're not going to go into dissertations. Just answer the questions that I give, okay? Because if you do that, we're going to get a lot more out of the conversation. So the question is, what's the one thing that stood out for you in the 10 things or the 10 ways to break or reverse the curse? What's the one thing that stood out for you? Because I got my one thing. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, yes, honey. Yes.
Taking care of myself first.
Period. Next.
Yeah.
Make my dreams come true.
Period. Next.
Stop seeking
Let
approval.
go of negative people.
Yes. Let's go. Next.
Stop seeking approval.
Woo! Baby, that's the one that hit me over the head. Listen, that's the one that had me jerking. That's how you know that's the one that's for you, right? Yes, ma'am. Stop waiting for approval. I actually came to this realization years ago, but I still work with it every day. Next. Aura, what's yours?
Oh, I said, stop being around negative people.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Star. Star, what's yours then?
Mine is, I think somebody else said it, is taking care of myself first.
Ashe. Did I get everybody? Het, where you at?
I said live and be, honey.
And that's just on period. You put number 11 on there. Okay, girl. I ain't mad at you. Okay. All right. So based off of the ones that you chose, give me some clarity or some background on why you chose that one and what it means for you moving forward. So this is a two-part question. Why did you choose what you chose? You had 10 different, well, thanks to Het, 11. You had 11 different ways. So why did you choose that? Like, what happened in your life? What memory did it trigger for you? Is it something that's happening right now? Like, let's share. So why did you choose that? And then how are you using that to move forward? Anybody jump in the pool.
Okay, I believe I just stopped dreaming, period.
Okay.
And thinking I had to take on responsibility of taking care of other people. And being their cheerleader, being that sacrificial lamb, sacrificing. I gotta be the Black woman who's strong. Gotta be strong. And so I gotta take care of everybody. Stand on my shoulders. I'm the little African rug. I remember I used to have this thing in relationships. I felt like I was the little African rug that everybody walked on.
Oh no,
yeah,
it sucks.
And it was like an image I had. So I didn't have any dreams, and for a while I just, kept on blinking during the day. Can I have a dream?
Am I here?
Can I have a daydream? I don't know about night dreams, but can I blink like Genie and make it happen during the day? So yeah, I stopped dreaming. And what am I, doing now?
How are you gonna use that? How are you gonna use that to move?
Taking my power back, receiving that I am a powerful, beautiful, intelligent woman, and walking in that light and that love, like Het said, living and being. All because I'm enough.
Yes.
I'm enough. And Lord knows, to a lot of people, too much of enough.
Honey, that's one affirmation you all might want to write down and work with this week if you aren't familiar with the power of that affirmation, which is I am enough. Oh my, now Wheatley, you opened up a whole Pandora's box, because what you shared is the root of Black women's, that's the generational curse of Black women.
Yeah.
That right there was something I had to break. Lord, that was my breakthrough, is when I came to that realization that I used to have the image I used to have is I'm carrying all my babies on my back and all the weight and the problem. Once I started to dismantle that visual I was having, my life shifted. Things changed. I showed up differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. I don't have to carry it all. I'm going to put this right here. You're going to take care of that, sir. And I'm going to move over here, and I'm going to need you. And this is yours. Hey, hi, this is yours. Yeah. And that changed everything. Who else has an experience like that? Like, what is it that you, in terms of the Black woman's generational curse? Het, what you got to say?
I was the one with the body image and us going to the mirror and saying what we don't like or hate about our bodies.
Yes.
I said to begin to embrace that, as long as you hate it, it's going to be there, but you got to think about where it came from. Did you eat to make that? You ate to make it. Did you stress out to make this? So what you have to do is now address it and start to love it, because things that you don't like stick around.
Don't they?
You keep giving them all that energy. So that's why I said be and live. So create on that. So since you don't like this, you don't like this fluffiness here, then don't eat the stuff that makes it, or move it. Create with it. Belly dance. Belly dance need a belly, because if you don't have no belly and no jiggle, you don't see nothing. Skinny women don't jiggle.
No, we don't. We don't.
No jiggling here.
We don't jiggle at all. But we here though. We here.
But we gotta make the jangle. Make the coins make some noise and create that what you don't like. Boom.
Yes.
Boom.
Yes. Thank you. And based off of what you just said, Het, I discovered that a lot of the things that I didn't like about myself, it's not that I didn't like it about myself. It's the fact that I thought other people, like my ex-husband, the children's father, I thought he wouldn't like it about me. And so I stayed in it, not even knowing, because when he met me, I had a fade, right? And then as time went on, I realized he likes women with hair. So I started wearing hair more, you know what I mean? And then years went by, 4 kids, 10 years later. And I'm looking like, but that's not what I want. I'm good with being natural. Like, I'm straight. And I had to realize that, oh, this was something that I thought I needed to do to keep him attracted to me. You know, same thing with the weight. A lot of women, they go ballistic over their weight. Do you really care? Or has society set a standard so ridiculous that now you give a now you care?
Right. That's what the fetish project is about.
I love it.
I was in. Another thing is that we think what we think other people are thinking, and they ain't thinking about you because they got their own stuff.
Baby, listen.
Don't do the mind game. It's a mind
not that
game.
important.
Stop thinking what you think I'm thinking, because you probably don't.
So
that wastes a lot of time, and it puts a lot of pressure on both parties. Well, I thought you. Why don't you ask some questions?
So like so what I'm noticing is that, you know, a lot of people have commented that, oh, you look so good because I've lost weight. And I'm like, I kind of miss my fluffiness. I really do. But I realized the extra weight that I had was fat and it wasn't doing my body any good. So now I'm trying to rebuild with muscle because I like the curves that came along with it. It took me a long time to actually get that. And I feel my most feminine when I have curves. But like I said, I know that I can't, while my body doesn't do well with fat. So it's like, I have to work out and start building more muscle and more tone. But it kind of psychologically gets to me when people be like, oh my God, you look so good. And I'm looking like, I feel like, okay, I have to watch the scale to make sure I don't go below a certain point because I'm my clothes size. I don't want to go back to being a 4. I remember being a 4. We didn't have curves at 4. Didn't feel feminine at 4. So I'm like, we're not trying to go there. But when everybody keeps telling you, you look good, and I'll be like, what are you looking at? Because I'm like,
why did you choose the one thing? Why did you choose the one thing that you chose on your list?
To stop seeking approval.
Yeah, why did you choose that?
Because I need to learn to become my own cheerleader. You know, it's good to hear it from other people, but the most important person that you need to hear it from is yourself.
That's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. And see, a lot of times people, you know, we'll think of the part that we set on ourselves. A lot of our stumbling, but our mountains are the ones that we've created. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
All of them.
So what happens is we'll take on something like you have a fear, but I always ask people, why are you afraid of this? What experience gave you? Because sometimes we're just afraid because somebody else is afraid.
That's the generational curse part.
Right. You don't have your own understanding of a situation. So once we get that understanding, then that will squash that. Now you got to find something else. Mm-hmm. We look for things. Mm-hmm. So when somebody gives you a compliment, one thing that you could do is just say thank you, because we want to explain. Oh, girl, this thing is old. I done had this 6 years. Don't nobody ask you. They didn't ask you a question. Baby, you look good. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a very powerful exercise to incorporate into your life. You have to practice accepting compliments. Like, it is practice, honey, because we have generations of, especially being a woman of color, and the darker you are, the deeper it goes, baby. Generations of, you're not good enough. You're here for me and me only. Like, you don't deserve to have a life. You don't deserve to have this and that and the third. You know what I'm saying? So don't expect anything. You don't deserve, so don't expect. So when people give us compliments, I remember those days. I remember living in those times when people would give me a compliment. I'm just like, I didn't know how to take it. Like you said, I started explaining myself. Oh, this whole thing? Oh man, I had this in my closet forever. And da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, you have to consciously not do that.
Like you take the person's gift away. It was like, I'm giving you a gift. Exactly. Because a lot of times we don't think of people givers. it's like when they get something, they feel like they're taking. Stop feeling like you're taking and receive. There's a difference between taking and receiving. Somebody's giving you a gift. It's making them feel good to tell you that you look good. And then we take it and squash it. Take it and accept it and pass it on.
Yeah,
Pass
that's
it
what I
to
was gonna
yourself.
say. Mhm.
Pass it on.
Anybody else? Let's get more in here. So who else picked something on their list? Why did you pick that one thing out of 10 things? I've been drinking my turmeric tea, so my tongue is orange.
Yeah. Taking care of myself first, because I would get up and I would immediately go in the kitchen and wash the dishes and get RJ's, lunch ready and make sure he's together. No, I get up, the cats be out there like, we hungry. I said, sorry, me first, and go in the bathroom. Wash up, come in my room in the dark and sit here for about 10 minutes.
Beautiful.
Just think, and then I'll go and take care of the kitchen, and the cats be still hungry. I said, you got to wait on RJ. He home, he feeds you now.
Good one, Mama
And
Evelyn.
then definitely this, Sheena came home from taking RJ to school and she just walked there. She knock. I'm like, because RJ has started that, can you knock on my door first before you come in my room? I'm like, sure, as long as you do the same thing.
What about you, Queen Adoni? What you put on your list and why?
Take risks often.
Yes. Why did you do what triggered in you to make you choose that?
Some things that I'm endeavoring to do, and some people I need to speak with directly, and so just taking the risk, and the risk is really yay or nay. Yay or nay, and I know I can explain it where it'll be, as Thornetta says in one of her songs, they can only say yes. So
the ones that say no, I mean, because I struggled, I still struggle. I'm not gonna say I struggle with that's not true. Cancel, delete. I used to struggle. However, I am still in awareness.
Yes.
Of the fact that no is part of the process.
Yes.
And someone's no, I don't have to, I used to take it personal. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. It's like somebody would tell me no, and the rejection of all the rejections of my past would come up. It's like, girl,
stop, right?
You're doing too much. I talk to myself, like, girl, you're doing too much. Stop. At the end of the day. So, but that no is really one step closer.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like, tell me no. If you really aren't gonna fulfill it, tell me no. Tell me no quick.
Right. Exactly. Right.
5 minutes. So I can get to that yes, my baby. So yeah, I'm with the no's now.
Right.
I love it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Did we get everyone? I want everyone to share what was on their list. I mean, the one they chose on their list. So Star, you want to go next? You're welcome to.
I'm trying to turn my video on.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, we got to do some more exercises.
Try, God, Pam.
And then you said it.
Pam today. Kegels, ladies, let's go. Crunch it. Crunch it.
We might need to start charging $5. We
baby, listen. The Kegels ain't working.
That's right.
The money talk. Okay. Yes. Try.
So let's see. I chose take care of myself first. I think that's the one that I said. And this was something that I didn't share that I got from the meditation, where I don't receive very well. I don't ask for help, and I don't really allow people to take care of me. And I have to stop that. And so that's why I chose taking care of myself first, because that's not what I do. I take care of other people first and what they need, and then I look at myself.
Ooh, baby.
And that's not necessarily a good thing. So I have to practice. Like I won't ask for help, not even from my own sister,
Ugh.
the one that I live with that's downstairs currently. I have trouble doing that. My best friend, she would ask, because she don't have no trouble asking me for something, but I'd never ask her. And so she would ask me sometime, well, am I being a good friend to you? Because I never ask. And so
Where do you think that comes from?
it has something to do with a past life. And what I was in the past life. I took care of people in the past life, and so it still reigns in this life where I don't do that well.
Has it shown up in this life?
Where I don't ask. I would rather do it myself, or I would rather suffer than ask somebody to help me. That's where it
So
shows.
in this life, I'm looking for a particular, like I'm trying, in this life, where would you say that you picked the pattern back up from your former life?
Well,
Where in this life did you pick it up and keep going with it?
When I was a baby.
Okay, there we go.
Well, as you know, I have a twin brother. So all I needed from my mother was to be changed and to be fed. And then I just wanted to be put down. I didn't want to be held. I didn't want to be loved. I didn't want to be any of that. Just feed me, make sure I'm clean, and then put me down. My brother, he loved it. I did not. And so it's still that way. I don't like to be like, okay, like when Sheila talks about going to this place in Chicago where you guys get pampered and stuff.
Yeah, King's.
Yes.
You're not having it. It's an absolute no.
I don't like people to touch me like that.
I say.
We don't have to touch you.
No, you can just go. Yeah, you don't have, because the massages cost extra, but we're not gonna go off into that conversation. Go ahead, start.
And so that's pretty much it.
Very nice. Thank you. Did we get everyone? Let's see.
I didn't go.
Yeah, Miss Aura. Go for it.
Let negative people go. I was with a female, this past Saturday. And I don't know if it was something I've done in the past, but she got on my last nerve.
Might have been the Mercury retrograde.
We were with some other men, and she wants to be able to do what she wants to do, but she don't want other people to be able to do what they want to do. She wants them to be scolded, and I don't know, and then I found out some of the lies she had told, that it was her lie, and she wanted other people to believe her lie. Because I've always believed it, mostly what she says. But when I caught her in the lies, it was like I was angry about that. Then I watched her try to ask someone to scold another person, some other people, and I'm watching her do that, and she just got on my last nerve. And it was like, other men had told me that she had not changed, and I was trying to look at her in love. She wants attention, but the negativity runs people away. And I was trying to be there for her. I was saying, well, maybe if I introduce her to some of the other groups I'm with, she'll get the love that she sort of needs and not be so negative. But I'm afraid that what people will say, where you get her from? Why did you bring her here? what's wrong with her? So I don't know what to do about her.
Mm.
And it might be me, but I just.
Were you here last week when I gave you the 3 requirements to be in your inner circle?
I might have been, but I didn't get it.
Okay, baby. I want you to write this down for me, okay?
I got it. Come on, inner circle.
This ain't the absolute, but this will get you started. This will point you in the right direction, okay?
Okay.
There's an inner circle, there's an outer circle. The inner circle are the people that you go out of your way for, the people that you truly love and care about, the people that you want to make sure they get what they need, how they need it. You're willing to make those sacrifices. That's your inner circle, okay? And your inner circle are the people who feed you, fuck you, or finance you. Excuse the language if it offends anyone. Okay?
Okay.
So anybody in your life, if they can't fit in one of those categories,
they're
not
out
in
of
the
circle.
inner circle. Like, you don't have to give yourself away to those individuals because that's not your role. That's not your job. Right?
Okay.
Your outer circle. Now, your outer circle, hey, you can have all the issues and problems in the world, sis. Ain't none of my business. I'm gonna love you when I see you. I'm gonna love you up good. I'm gonna give you what I got. I'm gonna be present and available to you. I ain't gonna leave you hanging in no way, shape, form, or fashion. It's gonna be real and it's gonna be genuine. But guess what? You're gonna be over there. But see, we gotta have boundaries in my life. You gotta have boundaries in your life, right?
Right.
So this is one of the ways out of many ways that you can create healthier boundaries. Ask yourself, what role does this person really play in my life? And is it significant enough that I should give a damn? Okay? Because, and I'm gonna say this, I'm just gonna put it out here because I told y'all I ain't playing no more. I'm just gonna give it to you straight. Take what you need, leave what you don't. Eat the meat, leave the bone. I'm not here for that. At the end of the day, the way that the planet is moving, the way humanity is moving, the way things are shifting, the way things are going to shift by 2023, you have to protect your aura. Because, baby, it's gonna be some souls that's gonna be unleashed, baby. That
now what was
and they gonna look like us, they gonna walk like us, they gonna talk like us, they gonna dance like everything. But baby, they soulless, and you're not gonna know until they right up here on you, feeding off of you. So
now what was the third one then? Inner, outer.
Finance.
Finance. Okay.
Finance. Yeah. If they don't affect your bottom line with that coin, honey, you understand? You can't afford to care. If they don't affect your livelihood, you can't afford to care. You understand what I'm saying? Because as things shift over these next 12 to 18 months, specifically is what I'm talking about, the level of fear is going to heighten on the planet in ways that we thought the pandemic, but it's going to be different because it's going to be coming from different directions. You're not going to see it coming, all of this. So, and the technologies that are being used, they're being used to ignite this fear in people. Mm-hmm. When people get afraid, they get desperate. Mm-hmm. When people get desperate, they don't see you. They don't see the love. They just see their fear. And so now you're dealing with a lot of these souls who are afraid or they're not connected or whatever, and they're grasping like a life preserver, trying to hold on to any positivity, any light that they can, because they didn't do the work, because they're not willing to go into the dark. You understand? So it's real important that we all are very protective of our aura, very protective of our energy, not in fear, but in conservation. It's no different than when you tell your children to turn lights off in the house. Why? Because of energy conservation. You want to save energy. So if you want to have energy conservation, save and store up your energy so you can really be ready for what's next in your own life, you can't be giving it away no more. We just not living in those times, you know? So I hope that helps you, Aura.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetie. And as far as letting her go, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that because it
I
really
have
just.
no problems with letting her go.
Oh, okay. Then we'll handle your businesses. Period. I love it. Anybody else? I think Aura was the last one on sharing what was on your list. Okay, great. Awesome. All right. So a little more self-awareness we're gonna do. So I want you now, I'm just gonna give you a moment to have a conversation with yourself in writing. All right. So I want you to write this out. Okay. And I just want you, based off of the information we just shared, based off of what you now know and what you've already, what you already knew, I want you to just take a personal self-assessment and just write down things that you already know about you that could relate to the video we saw. What are some patterns in your life that you see currently today that are relatable to the patterns that were discussed in the video? Where is generational curses, whether it's a family generational curse or whether it's a generational curse, through culture and through society, but where is it that you see these nuances of that toxic pattern showing up in your own life every day? Every day you see it, you know that it's there. It might be something as simple. I'll go first. She said today I don't drink. Okay. I don't know. I gotta write it down too. Hold on. I gotta do my work too. Cause it's like once the question, it's just like if somebody asks you, what's your favorite song? Or what's that name of that artist? You'd be like, you know it, but you're just like, because the pressure is on. So yeah, I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna write it out too. And then we'll share together. But what is the thing that came to me as far as my past was I used to drink coffee a lot. And one of the patterns that I realized is that my father used to drink coffee a lot. Like every morning I would wake up to the smell of coffee. And that's where the root of it came for me. And then I went to the military and it got even worse. So that's something that I had to work on to break, because drinking coffee every day the way I was drinking it just wasn't healthy for me. So that's just one example, but there's some recently that I need to write out. So just write out for yourself. Where are those patterns that you see? And shed a little bit of light on them for just a moment. I'll watch the time, so I'll give you a couple minutes. At Kroger. All right, give you a couple more seconds on that. Okay. All right. So would anybody like to share their list? I figured mine out. Anybody like to share what they wrote down? You don't have to, there's no pressure. But if you'd like to, you're welcome to. I'll go first. One of the patterns that still I recognize in my life today is being airheaded about other people's feelings. Yeah, I can be a little detached when it comes to that. I can be too social and detached when it's time to be vulnerable and present. So if it's an uncomfortable conversation, or if somebody says, "Hey, I really, didn't like when you did this," or "I wasn't sure about that," they have to really get my attention, because I'm just like, "Oh no, it's not this, it's that." Oh, I just kind of like fly by it and not really receive it the way that person needed me to. So that's something that I've recognized and I've been working on consciously, about, like, it's okay to care. It's not so much care, of course I care, but it's okay to go into that sensitive space with that person. I don't have to feel so standoffish all the time. I can go into that space with them, and I don't have to worry about getting lost in their emotion because of how I feel. That's something that I had to work on, and I'm still working on. Anybody else?
The poverty mindset,
Yeah, that's a big one.
And dealing with the money, dealing with the way I've dealt with money in the past. It hasn't been totally bad because nothing's got cut off.
Right, you still in the same house since I've been knowing you.
Yeah. But yeah, that's something I learned through since I was 17, from taking over the household bills, because my dad didn't like to talk to bill collectors, and he didn't like to call DTE, and he didn't like to call the water. He didn't like to do that and set up payment arrangements, and he didn't do that. So I took that over from my mom, because my mom would hide the bill money he gave her, and decide not to do anything. Oh no. And I was really strong. Oh no, we can't do that. No, we don't do that. No, we do what we're supposed to do here. We take care. So yeah, I had to learn through trial and error about, situations with money and dealing with people. And yeah, so I'm still going through that,
Yeah.
Still learning, still, navigating. We've got everything we need.
Yes. Thank you, Mama Evelyn. It's very important. Poverty is a big one. And even though one of the things that I've done around the poverty mindset that I'll share with everyone else is a sweet honey jar. It's just helps you to reverse that mindset of poverty. It's a poverty mindset. Poor is not about how much money you got in the bank. It's about how you think about money. And so doing certain rituals around the poverty mindset can really help to release it for you, can really give you a new perspective, give you a new understanding, because the understanding that most of us have is generational. Like, whether you have money or not, your understanding of money was passed on to you.
Right.
So thank you for that. Anybody else? Go, Mama Head. Go.
I was this
Oh,
is
you
a
was
just a
waving at
comment.
somebody? Okay, Aura, go ahead.
This is just a comment. I was with a group, and for a year, whenever we get a $5, we tuck it away. We don't spend it. We put it like in a bank or a box, and we don't spend it.
Yeah.
Now, what you do after that year with that money is what you want to do with it. But you'd be surprised. Now, sometime when I want to spend the money, I'll tell somebody, "Don't give me a $5. I want to spend it." But I know I'm cheating because I want to spend the money.
Yeah.
But just sort of let you know that is a way that I'm doing it until April, and then it's
on and popping.
I have so far collected $275 since April of last year. This year.
Yeah.
So you can do it. I would have had more, but I told them I need singles.
That reminds me of the sinking funds. If you've ever used them or heard of sinking funds, you can also do that as well. There's different ways to do it. I love the $5 one. The other one is you get envelopes and you can, there's numerous ways. One way is you can get just a old jar or jug and just throw all of your loose change in there. That's one thing that I do. My money don't jiggle, it fold. So if it jiggle, it go in the can, and you'll be amazed at how much I saw somebody on TikTok, they had like $500 because they had one of them big barrels that they just kept filling up, and it was like $500 in coins. So that's one way to do it. Another way is you can get some envelopes and then you put $1 in on the first day, put $2 in on the second day, you put $3 in on the third day. You could do it like
set a goal for like either 20 envelopes, 50 envelopes, 100 envelopes. I've done the 50 envelope one. That gives you up to like $1,400 if you go one to 50.
Yeah.
And you just stuff the amount in there and tuck it away. I've done that. I had to use it this year. It was there. I'm glad it was there. So
you can do it like if you like say you want to do it for Christmas, say you want to do it, you know, to buy a new car, say you want to do it for your vacation. You say, okay, every $5 I get goes into this envelope to go towards my car. Every, you know, or you could just say, I'm gonna put $1 a day in every day, or whatever you want, you know your budget. But yes, that works great. Thank you.
Storing money, not storing, but saving money around the house like that actually puts you in a situation where you really can't say that you're broke. Right. Even if out may go into the negative, you can't say that you're broke. One of the ways that I do it is I have Digit, and Digit is online savings where you can create sub accounts, whatever you need to save for, and it literally pulls dollars and cents towards your goal. So I have that, and then I also make sure that something goes into my savings account, like automatically $5-10. And I've realized in the last year, I may get a little challenge, and you hear me say I have a challenge to overcome, financial challenge to overcome. But I watch myself. I never said that I was broke, because technically I can't say that I'm broke, because somewhere cash out, PayPal, the bank account, the savings account, and the Digit account, and the money jug, and the envelopes, there's cash. There's money somewhere around me. It may not be the full amount of what I need for that time, but it's something. And that spirit changes your talk. It changes everything, because then you start to thinking, okay, something's on its way. My account may be negative today. It's not going to be negative tomorrow. We're going to overcome this hump. The money's going to show up, and you watch, you see your language. Because one thing you can't say you're broke, because there's money around you. Even if it's 5 cents, there's money around you. So it's a different change in that mindset, and doing the little rituals like that to keep money around you makes a huge difference. One of the things I need to do, and I haven't done it in a while, put a $20 bill in the visor of your car for emergency purposes, because you never know. But then again, that also keeps that spirit of money around you, because now you got a 20 in the car, you might have 20 under the mattress. Just start stashing it around the house, and then you'll really start seeing the magic of money. I just had to jump in because, like I said, that the last 2 years, that's changed my life, because it's like, oh, like I said, it's here. It may not always be here, but it's here. Mm-hmm. I just had to jump in. That's all.
Thank you. Go ahead. I see your hand up. Hataru.
I'm coming. I had to find the mute button, child. So, you know, that's a challenge right there, that mute button. And I'm in the sun, so it's harder to see. So what Aura said, I really liked what she said about that $5. That was awesome. But what I used to do is anytime I got change from a transaction, that went to the jar. Mm-hmm. I don't care how much it was, it's going to the jar. Mm-hmm. You know. And my mom, Danyelle, I love that you said $20. My mother told us to put 50 in the tank, because I know one time Haru and I were going to Chicago and left the wallets at home. And gas is gone, and we got to keep going. And I was like, thank you, Sandra. Thank you. That $50.
Showed up and showed out. I do it all the time. I hide it in my jackets. I hide it in certain places.
Put it in every purse.
You gotta get back to have the emergency fund, because I had an ex that kept $100 under the mattress. And this is old school. And I'm just like, when the emergency hit, it was there. So we got to get back to start stashing. You know what I'm saying? Just $50. If you don't have 50, start with 20. Just stash it in the car, so in case something happens, it's there. Start putting 20 under the mattress, because if something happens, it's there. And I'm like, you know, but also, like I said, the reverse part, that's for an emergency. The envelope fund could be for an emergency fund, because we need to have an emergency. Let's remember, we need to have 6 months of expenses already saved up in case of emergency. And a lot of us don't have that. I'm guilty of that right now. So we got to start stashing stuff up for when something happens. Because something's always
Stash of cash. Stash of cash.
And
stashing.
the power of it,
Here and there and everywhere.
the power of it beyond the 3D, like in 3D, you stash the money, right? And then it amplifies in the universe.
Mhm.
So what amplifies in the universe, you're telling the universe, you're telling, you know, the energies around you that you believe in abundance. You're showing it, you're demonstrating it. Like, I don't have to squeeze life out of this last $20. I literally can put it up.
Also,
and give it that power. Give it that, you know, you're charging that money when you do that. When you release it that way, you're charging it. And so now
Also,
you charge it, and you didn't moved on. And guess what? What always seems to happen, once you release that $20, $40 shows up somewhere.
another powerful place that we ain't talked about, for those of us that got altars, that dollar, that $5, that $10 that goes on the altar, that stuff gets magnified. I remember one time I have an altar that stays at my door. One time, I just let it stash. And something came up and I needed something, and it was well over $300 sitting at my front door. Didn't even realize it, because every time I honor whomever I'm honoring at the front door, I just $3 here, $6 there. And then, like I said, when something shows, is there. So if it's not in Orisha, your ancestors, put a $10, put a dollar.
Well, let me say this, if I may. Whatever, as a disclaimer, whatever offering you give to the ancestors and you give to your Orisha, you give back in a different, you don't take it back. You don't do that. You don't take money off your altar. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to discount anything you're saying. I understand why you're saying what you're saying, but this is important enough where I have to say it. You do not take money off of your altar and spend it. You take that money and either you give it to charity, you give it to someone in need, you take it to the river, but you do not take it back and then spend it on something. When you give it and you put it to the altar and you release it, it comes back to you somewhere else.
Right, the abundance comes from
somewhere else, but you don't ever give an offering and then take it back. Absolutely not.
Thank you for sharing.
Absolutely.
All right, Queen.
Are we done? Oh, yeah, it's 10:05.
05.
We up in here. Okay. Well, ladies, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for being here, giving up your morning for us, to be together. So I appreciate it. And I hope you got something out of it. I hope you really got something out of today. You got something out of the lesson. I did put a link in the chat for the video that we watched today. So if you want to check that out, make sure you do. And check out her other videos too. She really has some great content on her videos. You can learn a lot from her. So definitely make sure that you check her out. And for this week, I am enough is the affirmation. Even if it's something that you work with already, I want you to go even deeper. You know, where are you now in your journey? Right? So I am enough. I am enough. That is your affirmation. So if, God forbid, a bill come up this week, you're not going to stress about it. You're just going to say, I am enough. And you're going to let it come to you. Stay in that present moment and let it come to you. And any other triggers or traumas or versions of a generational curse that you see, shed light on it and it will dissipate. All right. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Like Queen Aduni says, hug the word. Well, you say hug yourself first?
Yeah.
So,
self first. Self
first. Hug the
world.
Oh,
we love.
Thank you all so much. And I'll see you I'll see you on this show next week. But tomorrow, Mama, hey, what you got going on tomorrow, girl? What you got going on tomorrow, girl? What's up?
You know she don't tell us.
I know she don't say nothing.
Right? I actually have something today.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna discuss immunity.
All right, I'm here for it. You are perfect. You are a perfect person for that subject.
All right. Immunity.
All right, I'm ready.
Is that immunity or community?
Yeah. Immunity. Look, the community needs immunity. That's what
Oh, okay. Immunity. All right. Yes.
I
Yes.
am. Yeah, I am MUNITY.
Yes. Yes.
Look it
Okay.
up. Gotta go look it up. See where you coming from.
Yeah, Deidre will probably send you the, the little do 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 do.
Thank you.
All
All
right,
All
right.
right. Peace out.
have a great
Peace,
one.
loves. Love
Create something and squeeze. And save your change.
y'all.